Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back today for another video, and this is going to be one of the final videos this year, which is fitting because we're going to be talking all about next year, 2023. Now, I really wanted to make this video because the MCOC has been like all over the place. One minute, everyone says the game's dying. The next minute, the game's thriving. It's all over the place, right? I think right now, the game's actually in a pretty good spot. No pun intended with this champion spot being added. But no, I think the game's been doing really good. And I think 2022 was a solid year, but definitely far from perfect. There's a billion ways they can improve, right? Nothing's perfect. None of us are perfect. We can all improve. There's always room for improvement. But 2022 was good. Now, and that so I'm going to bring up 10 points, 10 things that I really want to see in 2023, 10 pieces of feedback, 10 wishes. Like, you can think of this video as like a wish list. I don't know, you can think of it as whatever you want, but this is what I want and hope to see in Marvel Contest of Champions going forward 2023. And I think if we see a bunch of these things, if we can see all of these 10 things, I think the game would be doing better than ever and would just be so thriving. It would be insane. And I think all of these would just be so good for the game, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and get started with point number 10. And that is more of a kudos to Kabam on 2022. This point is literally just more banger champion releases in 2023, just like what we got in 2022. Like, taking a look at 2022 here, like, if I had to pick out like 5 just garbage champs, like I couldn't even do that. Like, I could pick, like, if I was genuinely thinking, like 1, 2, 3, maybe. Like there's not even 5 bad champs released in 2022. We've never ever had that before. We've never had a year where there's less than 5 bad champs released. Like that's hard to believe. Like, 2022 was just by far the best ever year for champion releases. Just so many incredible additions, and like 90% of these champions are just so good and just have a real genuine purpose in the game. And it's just wonderful. So I really just hope 2023 it's either the same or better. Hopefully it's not worse, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to top 2022. But I think they can do it because I feel like that's the new direction, is the way that they're designing these champions. And I think that's the way to go, because the longer MCOC lives for, players like me, the more and more our rosters get completed. And when a player like me completes their roster, that leads to not a whole lot of other stuff to chase in game, which is another point I'll talk about later. But I got to a point, especially 2022 this year, where it's like my main focus has just been on new champions, pretty much only, because I have all the other champions. So it really just comes down to wanting to chase new champions. So if they keep releasing really good new champions every month, it's going to keep me playing. It's going to keep me invested. That's what I want. That's what I need. That's the direction I'm looking to take my account, getting these new champions that can do brand new things that are introduced into the contest. So I think making banger releases is really important to maintaining and keeping a certain level of players like myself. And players like myself and players that have a lot more money than me usually spend quite a bit too chasing these new champions. So it's very good for the health of the game. So just more of these incredible champions being released in 2023, and hopefully some more fan favorites as well. And yeah, that's really point number 10. Now let's go ahead and talk about point number 9. So this one is something Kabam has been doing a better job of in 2022. Unfortunately, there has been some issues with it. But point number 9 is just to make more content permanent. So we can have more content in this tab right here, basically. Special quests. I love special quests. I really, really do. Years and years ago, we had a piece of content called The Maze. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. Back then, my account and wasn't anywhere near where it was now, and I remember kind of struggling on the final boss, which was a champion. I think I was using like a 4-star Dr. Voodoo for it, this was the time of 5 stars, if not 6 stars even. So yeah, like, but it was so much fun, that piece of content. I really wish the maze was made permanent. I'd love to see the maze come back. I would love to see an updated version of the maze in 2023, but just more content like that. They did do a really good job on the Grandmaster's Gauntlet, and then they did add that as permanent content. Unfortunately, there's just been issues with it, but they are bringing it back in 2023. It will be back. It will be permanent, and every single player in the community will be able to beat it a total of 3 times and get the rewards 3 times, which is pretty sick. I've beaten it fully twice, so I'll be able to rerun the Gauntlet one more time to get those rewards again. And I just love that. I really love the Gauntlet. I love that type of content, and I just want to see more of it. And I think a really, really good example of how this can be integrated into 2023 is with the next Eternity of Pain. So the latest Eternity of Pain that we've gone through, we've had 4 iterations, and it's been going through the stages of grief. So anger, depression, denial, all of that bad stuff. And then the final stage of grief is acceptance, stage 5. You accept the grief, you get over it. You move on. So that's coming in 2023. And that's going to be probably a culmination of everything we've seen so far within those first 4 Eternity of Pains. So that content is exactly the type of content that I want to see eventually make its way into this tab and become permanent. I would really love to see that. And that way, you'd be able to revisit any one of those Eternity of Pain fights that we've had within the last 4 iterations, which is really, really cool, because it's nice to just, be able to go back to any of those fights anytime you want and practice, or, for making, especially as a YouTuber, it's really good for making content. Just because, like, let's say I want to fight, the Nick Fury from Eternity of Pain. I want to get content on that Nick Fury. It's easy, It's not going to take long. Or if I wanted to get really high gameplay on a Nick Fury, I'd have to go into, like, Act 6, 7, 8, look for a Nick Fury, go through the quest, waste energy, waste time, get there, then record the fight. Like, it's just annoying. So just having more bigger boss fights to do as permanent content is just, when a new champion comes out, maybe they're a really good counter to an old Eternity of Pain fight. So then I could go in and showcase that in a video. I love having permanent content that I can revisit anytime, and just want to see more of it. And I think, yeah, Eternity of Pain is a prime candidate to be made into permanent content and to eventually make its way here. So that's what I really love to see in 2023, more of that. Alright guys, on to the next point, number 8, and that is all about the next level of progression, which is rank 5, 6 stars, and eventually we'll be 7-star champions as well, but right now let's just focus on rank 5, 6 stars. So currently what Kabam has done is they're introducing the first ever means to obtaining rank 5s in the solo event here. So top 30 are going to get a 4 to 5 gem and pick whatever 6 star they want, and then the next 30 people, so top 60, they're going to get a rank 5, but it's going to be of a random class. And so I'm totally fine with this. Outside of those 60 players, no one else is getting a rank 5. There are rank 5 materials in the Banquet Crystals. However, it is a very low amount that you get, and it's a low % chance to even get it in the first place. And we haven't seen any rank 5s yet. The event's been going on for weeks, so I'm really not worried about, like, the game economy and rank 5s running wild. Like, there's only going to be 60 people getting a rank 5 from here. Like, that's no big deal to me. I don't care. I don't care at all. That's irrelevant for right now. Like, in Battlegrounds, I can just ban their rank 5. Even if they have 2 rank 5s, I can ban them. Unless they have more than 3 rank 5s, it doesn't matter. They're not getting an advantage over me, when I'm facing someone in Battlegrounds. And that's what I'm worried about, right? So there's no problem there. And I'm totally fine with Kabam doing this, having these events with crazy rewards, because people are going to spend. People are going to spend a ridiculous amount of money. There are people that have so much money that money's meaningless to them, and they have no problem throwing thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars at this game. And like, it would be so nice to be in a position like that. But good for them. good for them, and also good for us because they are funding the game. So we can be free to play. So we can spend whatever we want. We don't have to spend a ton for, majority of the players. The big whales really, really do fund this game. And that's great. And that's why I'm totally fine with this type of event. As long as in 2023, we see more of these materials being able to be earned. Like I'm all for spending to get this stuff early. Especially when they have to pay like such a 1,000% premium, that's totally fine, and that's the way it should be. But I also want a way to earn these materials, so just give me content to do that. I'm totally fine again, still with more offers next year containing these materials. Like the offers are fine because no one has to buy those. No one's forcing anyone to buy those offers, right? Like that's totally fine if they're there. But just give also the means to do it through content. That's all I'm asking for. Spenders should have an advantage, and they should get more for spending versus grinding. But grinding still needs to be relevant. This is a game, not a stock. It's not just about putting money in, it's about enjoying it. So I really hope we just see a lot more content and just the means to earn these materials, instead of mainly just it being buying. I feel like with rank 4s, it was like anywhere from 70 to 80% of like spending for them, and 20 to 30% earning those materials. And it has gotten a lot better. Once the new material has been out for a while, Kabam just keeps adding more and more ways to earn it, which we've seen all throughout 2022 with the loyalty store, with now the glory store, with the Battleground store. Like, I had a catalyst imbalance with my rank 4s. I pulled a fully formed tier 6 basic out of the banquet crystals, and I was easily able to purchase a tier 3 alpha just by using all of my resources from different stores. I've spent some loyalty, spent some glory, spent a lot of my Battlegrounds trophy tokens, and I evened out my stash. So I'm sure with rank 5s, when they come out, it's going to be more for spending, and then eventually, other avenues will be opened up through stores and content. I just hope it's a little bit faster, with rank 5 material and going forward, especially with 7 stars on the horizon. I hope we're able to just, really grind those materials. So that's what I'd really love to see, and not only for rank 5s, but for all the progression going forward with 7 stars, relics, everything. All right, let's go ahead and move on to point number 7. This one's pretty simple, but it's just more transparency and listening from Kabam. Would just really love to see more from them. And for example, 2022, there's just things that Kabam did that no one wanted. And for example, the gold offers. But some people still think it was a good idea not to have the gold offers, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. No one is putting a gun to your head and telling you, oh, here's some really nice gold offers, but you don't have a lot of gold. But you have to buy them, or I'm going to shoot you in the head. No one's saying that. No one's putting a gun to you and forcing you to spend all your gold. But still give the gold offers to everyone who wants to buy them. Like, that was the most well-received event ever in MCOC. Ever. There was not a single person that did not like those gold offers when they came out the first time. Best event ever in MCOC. Just nothing but love for it. All Kabam had to do was bring it back and update it a bit to make it a 2022 iteration instead of a 2021 iteration. And it would have just been a community slam dunk. A freaking slam dunk. They could have got so much brownie points from the community. But what do? No, they don't do it. The whole community bitches and whines at them. And what do? They still don't do it. Like, Kabam, you need to do better. You need to do so much better. You have such a great community here for a mobile game. You have so many dedicated players that play every single day, that spend so much money. You need to do better, Kabam. Please, listen to us. Listen to your community. Listen to the people in the content creator program that are giving you good advice. actually listen and use it. Integrate it. Don't just take the feedback, be like, yeah, okay, and then not use it. Please. Please. Listen to the community. We know what we're talking about. We know what we want. Sometimes Kabam does know better on certain things, but that is quite rare. That is very quite rare. And I'm always willing to be the bigger man. Not always. A lot of the time willing to be the bigger man and say I'm wrong, or, you know, okay, I say, okay, yeah, Kabam, that might be right. But there's a lot of times where Kabam's wrong, and we all know that. So I really just hope they listen more. And honestly, full transparency, just be less stingy, Kabam. Just be less stingy. You guys are going to make so much money from this banquet event, from all the people spending to get those rank 5 materials. Just ease up on the stinginess in 2023. Just a bit, please. Just a bit. Alright? That's number 7. Just more listening from Kabam. Listen to your goddamn community. Okay. Number 6. And this one is, again, community outcry for this. And that is champion buffs. Now, we have seen some really tremendous buffs over the years. Like Magneto, one of my absolute favorite buffs in all of MCOC. In the comics, Magneto is an Omega level mutant, which means like just overpowered, some overpowered mutation. And he's just garbage in MCOC. Him and his white counterpart. They're just so garbage. And they got a buff worthy of an Omega level mutant. And I want to see the other Omega level mutants get that treatment. Like Iceman. Iceman is an Omega level mutant. He needs to be represented as such in MCOC. He really does. So just more buffs. So more buffs. That's a huge one. But not only that. And I understand it takes time to do these buffs and everything. And so what I would really, really love to see is more good buff timing. Now what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is... Oops, my phone just turned off. What I mean by that is, for example, prime example of this, last year, we had the Moon Knight series come out on Disney+. Personally, I really enjoyed it. Now, that would have been the absolute perfect time to buff Moon Knight. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. It really does not. Like, so I'm going to tell you guys something real quick. So how it works for getting champions into MCOC, Kabam needs to get approval from Marvel. So, and for like the movies and the Disney Plus shows, whatever that's coming out, like it's approved and agreed upon way in advance, right? So, like, I'm not saying I want to see a thematic release for every single Disney Plus show or movie, because Kabam can't really do that with Marvel. You know, they need to get approval to add these characters, and I think especially for like MCU versions of them and everything like that, they need to get approved way in advance. So, okay, whatever. They didn't get a new Moon Knight Disney Plus character approved. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But buff him. Buff him. Why are you not buffing characters when they get their own TV show? Why? I don't understand. Maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe someone can explain that to me. But again, you're just missing community slam dunks. Like there's literally a ladder in front of the basketball hoop. You can just climb up and put the ball in and just get free points. Get free community sentiment. But no. You don't want to do that. You take the ladder away, you go from the other side of the court and you shoot, and it's the biggest air ball you've ever seen. That's what Kabam prefers to do. Like it's so beyond ridiculous. When there is a thematic release, I don't care if it's a movie or a TV show, at the very least, if there is an MCU property coming out in a month, buff a champion associated with said property. It's It's not rock. It's so simple. It's so simple. Like, I'm sure every single person in the community can agree that we would love that. I sure know I would. Because imagine how awesome that would be. You know, a new series comes out, you're watching it week to week, and then boom, now, as you're watching it, you're playing a newly buffed, that champion, newly buffed, in your favorite game that you play every single day. Don't we all want that? I think we all do. So please, Kabam, when there are thematic Marvel releases, either movie or TV show, whether there is a champion being released with it or not that month, please give us a character buff, especially if that character is doo-doo. Especially times 50 if that character sucks, like Moon Knight. Moon Knight is garbage in MCOC. He could have used... it would have been so perfect if during his show, you know, he got just a crazy sick buff. And it's like... It's not like everything's hidden either. Like, you can literally Google Marvel movies and TV shows coming up years in advance. Not everything is going to be there, but there's definitely some. You can literally plan it out. Okay, this TV show is coming... Okay, Loki Season 2 is coming out fall next year. Alright, why don't we plan to buff Loki when that comes out? Wow, that'd be a good idea, right? Like, it's so simple. I seriously don't understand why it's not a thing. Okay, so, yeah, that's a big one for me. Just, if Kabam doesn't want to give us more buffs, which I would love, at least give us well-timed buffs. Or buffs we want. Let us vote on who we should buff. Why can't we do that? I'm pretty sure we've had that before. That was like years ago. I'm sure if the entire community saw a list of champions to buff, of like crappy champions, and we could all vote, I'm pretty sure Groot would get a buff. Because I'm pretty sure Groot would win that vote. So, like, can we at least pick the champions that are getting buffed if you're not going to buff 2, 3 every month? That'd be great. That'd be great. Kabam. Please. Also, the OG Avengers in this game suck. And a lot of them got nerfed. So, would really love to see them be restored to their, not either their former glory or, you know, just the reputation that the Avengers should have. Especially in a Marvel game. Especially that being the biggest property. Especially that being the 2 biggest movies of all time. So yeah, that's I'm very passionate about those buffs. So yeah, that's number 6. All right, let's go ahead. Now we're getting to the top 5, and these are in the top 5 of, or top 10 of, the higher we go, the more I want it, basically. So now we're starting to get into the stuff that I really, really want to see in 2023. And okay, so number 5 is just more frequent reward updates and balancing all throughout the game to keep all modes of gameplay relevant. So what does that mean? Kabam has an extremely horrible habit of leaving stuff unbuffed and for way too long. And what happens is it just becomes extremely irrelevant. For example, these events right here, they were left alone for literally, like, I don't know. I don't think I ever saw them change since I've been playing this game. I've been playing this game for more than 5 years. That's half a decade. These events have gone untouched. Untouched. Only just recently did they finally update them a little bit, and that was only because relics came out, and they just wanted to include relic materials, basically. They did juice it up a little bit more, I think. If we really take a look at one of these, let me take a look. They did juice it up a bit, especially with the rank rewards. There's like a 6-star generic signature stone here, which is nice for top 10%. They included T4CC here. They threw in some tier 5 basics and tier 2 alpha there. The units stayed the same. And then I think these became... I think they might have always been uncollectible crystals. But yeah, it was really just the addition of relic stuff, right? But it literally took more than 5 years to see any kind of change in these. That's ridiculous. That is nothing in this game that is like... reoccurring, nothing in this game that is reoccurring should go more than a year without being updated, in my professional MCOC opinion. 100%. Like, nothing in this game should go, because as someone who's played this game for more than half a decade, a lot changes in a year, especially with the economy, how much you'd pay for something. Like, it really changed. Like, for example, in 2022, at the start of 2022, someone would have paid $1,000 just to get a rank 4. Like, to get a rank 4. Easily, a lot of people would have paid $1,000 to get that. Now, at the end of 2022, I would sure as hell not be spending $1,000 for a rank 4. And I'm sure most people would not be. There definitely are some people that still would. But again, those are the people that have an unlimited amount of money, so that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. Like, new rank 4, sure, they'll buy it, you know? But, like, that's just how much the game changes in a year. These resources, materials, they get devalued as time goes on. Some stuff devalues faster and some stuff devalues slower. And so the game needs to be looked at with that kind of lens, and the rewards need to be updated. So, like, yeah, solo events were a really bad one, and they could still use more work. Alliance events could still use more work. Arena is a really big one. That's not arena. Goes to show how often I do arena. But yeah, the arena rewards have not been updated in a long time. It should not be only top 100 for the 6-star anymore. This should definitely be increased, probably to just like top 1%. Once 7-stars come out, it should just be like a percentile based for new 6-stars. It should have been honestly a while ago. And just, yeah, just the milestones need updating. Like, look at these. These are Grandmaster crystal shards. Take that in. These are Grandmaster crystal shards that are supposed to. These are the equivalent of an uncollected level. So the current shards that I can claim are the equivalent of a uncollected level. Now, if we press this button and we see where I am, bro, I'm 3 stages past uncollected. Like, I shouldn't still be getting Grandmaster shards. You know? And that actually leads us to the next point, which I guess is kind of connected to this point. But that's number 4. And it's just major improvements on the massive Cavalier to Paragon progression problems. What does that mean? It means, again, I am a Paragon player. The current highest level of progression, which even that, it feels like there's going to be a new progression coming soon. Maybe even with 8.2, I don't know. But there's definitely going to be that next level of progression coming on its way in 2023. I am assuming with Act 8. Like, so a new progression level is already needed, and yet the game is still so under-updated. For example, we only have a Cavalier difficulty for the monthly quests. Now, Kabam has spoken on this point specifically. In 2023, there is going to be an update to this with a new difficulty. But, dude, that was so long overdue. That was so long overdue. Like, it's honestly ridiculous. We're still doing Cavalier difficulties here. As not even a step ahead, but 2 steps ahead of the Cavalier progression. And the really disgusting and sickest part is that they haven't updated the crystals yet, which again is how Kabam makes the bulk of their money. They make so much money off of crystal sales, especially new champions in the crystals, that they just get so much revenue from that alone. And that is the most under-updated part of MCOC. Like, how disgusting is that? That's sickening. That is sickening. Like, there are only still Cavalier crystals. Why? Outside of being stingy, what other reason is there? I'll tell you, there isn't one. Like, it's literally just to make more money. That's disgusting. Like, there should have been Thronebreaker crystals. There should have been Paragon crystals ages ago. And those crystals should not have 3 stars in them. But what would that do? If they made a crystal like that, they would have to take 3 stars out of here. And if they did that, well, that would completely solve the ISO crisis in MCOC. And if they solve the ISO crisis, well, then that's less money that they make. And that's not good. That's not good. No. And ISO is another issue. Again, something that needs to be updated. Like, it's so silly. You know, you open up a 3-star crystal, you get 2 ISO bricks on a dupe, tier 5. You open up a 4-star crystal, you get 24 tier 5 ISO bricks. Or, sorry, 24 tier 5 ISO bricks. So, there's a 12 times multiplier going from 3-star to 4-star. A 12 times multiplier on the ISO. What's the multiplier from a 4-star to a 5-star? It's a 0 multiplier on the ISO gain. What's the ISO multiplier on a 5-star to a 6-star? 0. So you're getting the same amount of ISO from duping a 6-star and a 4-star. Why? Let's pretend I'm an idiot. Explain to me how that makes sense and why that should stay the same. You can't. Other than, oh, it'll mess up the ISO economy. Okay. Mess up the ISO economy. You're not messing it up. You're fixing it, for Christ's sake. That's how it should be. Like, it's just these things that Kabam just doesn't want to update. And they have their stupid reasons for it, you know? And it pisses me off on, and it does. It really does piss me off. Like, just update your game, man. Update your game. Like, if I was running this MCOC, if I was the CEO of MCOC, every single part of the game would be updated regularly, so it's all relevant. That's the way it should be. In my, again, professional MCOC opinion. So that's a big one. Just more updates all throughout the game. We really need to see that. We need to see these Paragon Cavalier problems fixed. And especially if they're going to introduce a next level of progression. That's all the more reason to fix this issue. Or it's just going to make it a bigger issue and widen the gap. Which we don't need. We don't need the issue to be made bigger. Okay. Now, number 3. And as you guys can tell, I'm getting more passionate about these points the higher we get. But yeah, so number 3, what I want to see in 2023 from Marvel Contest Champions, from Kabam, is more in-person events. Now, this is a huge one for me. Now, we've had the whole COVID pandemic, whatever. Dude, that, in my opinion, that went on way longer than it should have and than it needed to, first of all. And second of all, after all that, my mindset is we need to make up for lost time. We missed the last Comic-Con that I went to was 2019. I went to New York Comic-Con for 2017, 2018, and 2019. And each year, that was one of the highlights of the entire year. That trip each year. And it was 3 years in a row, and I started getting used to it every year. And it became something that I really, really, really looked forward to in my life. And it's just like one of the things that really kept me going, like would get me out of bed. Like, man, I can't wait to go to Comic. It's like Christmas, you know, or like your birthday. You know, like you look forward to it all year. That's like what Comic-Con was. That's what it became, and it was incredible because you get to go. It's like one of the best experiences ever. Like, you get to go to New York, which is pretty cool if you're not from New York. You get to meet other MCOC YouTubers, who for me are colleagues, which is really cool to meet my colleagues, right? You get to meet the people that create the game that you play. You get to meet other people that play the game, and for me, I got to meet like subscribers. And if that happened now, I just hit 100K, so I'd be able to meet. I probably have way more fans than I did back then, so that'd be so cool to meet so many of you guys. I absolutely love that. And the coolest part about all of that is, like, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I don't know anyone in my day-to-day life that plays this game. So, like, I don't talk about it in person, like, with other people, you know? Only on my mic, or, you know, on video, or online, on my phone. Like, it's all virtual. But in Comic-Con, like, it's real. There's other people, like, you can have a conversation with someone about MCOC. And it's it's so nice to just be able to talk about it with someone in person, and it's just incredible. It's an incredible feeling. I love it. And so we had Comic-Con 2017, 2018, 2019. Okay, then 2020, pandemic, no Comic-Con. Makes sense. Comic-Con was canceled. MCOC wasn't going. Okay, that makes sense, right? So we missed one. And then 2021, you know, the pandemic was starting to wind down. The vaccines were coming out. Okay, Comic-Con's happening. I'm like, yes, Comic-Con's happening. But Kabam doesn't go to it. So New York Comic-Con happened 2021, but MCOC did not go. So there was no reason for me to go. So I didn't go. Okay. That sucks, but, you know, we've been through the whole pandemic, the whole ordeal. Okay. I can understand they weren't prepared to go. All right. But my mindset was, okay, next year, 2022, there's no excuse, right? Like, the pandemic's over. Like, there's plenty of time. Okay. Fast forward this year. Kabam doesn't go again to Comic-Con. Why not? Why the F not? Like, please, Kabam, go to Comic-Con next year. Please. Go to San Diego Comic-Con, go to New York Comic-Con, go to whatever Comic-Con. I don't care. Go somewhere and I'll be there. Just go somewhere, man. Go to a Comic-Con, go to some kind of convention, go to something. Please. I'll be there, and I know a lot of other people that'll be there too. Just more in-person events, meetups too. Like there is talks of a meetup in Vancouver around March-ish for 2023, and I should be going to that. So if any of you guys are in that area, you can meet me. It'll be fun. Maybe, and that's also where Kabam HQ is. So could be interesting. But yeah, just more meetups, more events, just more in-person stuff. I want to see Kabam. For example, when Incursions was announced, bro, this was one of the coolest things that never happened to me. Incursions was announced, and Kabam invited a bunch of content creators to come fly out to Vancouver to go to their studio and to test Incursions in person. Like that would have been one of the funnest things ever, but it got canceled because of the pandemic. That was right when it was starting. So that screwed me out of an incredible opportunity there. And it was like Kabam was going to be paying for that too. Like it would have been a free trip. Like that would have been so awesome. I would really love to see more stuff like that. Like I don't know why Kabam has never tried to do something like that again. Because again, the pandemic's over. Like that's in the past. It's time to start making up for lost time. You've got to make up for lost time with Comic-Con, with these events, just more in-person stuff. Kabam, I miss you. I know I've said some negative things about Kabam, but I think of that as their company as a whole, you know, and that's more of like an evil CEO that's greedy, you know, trying to get the money. Every actual Kabam employee that I've talked to, especially in person, I've had a phenomenal conversation with, just super nice, and every single Kabam person that I've met, I really like, and I've really gotten along with, and some of them I consider to be good friends. Like, the Kabam staff is actually awesome, especially in person. Like, I'm telling you guys, if you meet Kabam in person, it's an entirely different experience from anything you've seen, like, on the forums, right? Like, it's so much different. Like, they're so awesome in real life. And I miss them. I want to see them again. So really just hope to see more events in 2023, especially Comic-Con, especially meetups, anything in person. I'm down to travel. I'm down to go to meetups. Like, it just sounds like so much fun. Really want to see it. So that is number 3. Now, number 2, this one I am extremely passionate about, and that is Battlegrounds. All about Battlegrounds, man. Battlegrounds has revolutionized MCOC, and I'm so happy with it. I've been practicing a lot. I've already won an online tournament, the first one that I even competed in, which I'm so proud of. Got the trophy. I'm looking at it right now. Like, it's awesome. I love Battlegrounds so much, and I love competing. I think of myself as a pretty fairly competitive person, and especially in a game that I love so much. It's so nice to finally have a game mode where I can really like test myself, put myself to the test, play some of the best players in the world and really see how I stack up, and players that I think of as really good or that I've heard really good things about, play them, see how I stack up against them. You know, it's really cool. I love it. It's changed the entire way I look at this game. It's changed the entire way I play this game. I've been so focused on, you know, building up my deck, and I'm not a whale. There's people with way bigger accounts than mine, but like I get complimented on my deck because I've built it in a certain way. I've really built it up, and I've just been focusing like all my resources on for Battlegrounds, for making that my deck, and it's paid off, and it just feels so good, and it's just something to really chase, and I love it. I absolutely love Battlegrounds, but myself and a lot of other really skilled players, we need a way to really put ourselves to the test and show what we're made of. And the reason why we can't do that right now is a big reason is because of the modder and hacker situation. I have not made it past. I've not placed higher than Celestial 5 because of the hacker and the modder situation. Like it's just hard to get past that point because there's so many hackers, and there's also other cheating ways where like they match their same accounts and they farm points, and it's so much BS. So it's made it really hard to really show what I'm made of, and for a lot of other people as well that I know, like really capable players that I think of as like top 5 best players in the world, like they also aren't really placing past Celestial 5 because like they just can't, but they should be able to. So I really want to see official tournaments from Kabam in 2023 for Battlegrounds, official tournaments in person and online. So in person, that ties back to just more in-person stuff. So any in-person tournament, hell yes. The very first ever iteration of the Summoner Showdown was actually an invitational. So I was invited to participate in the Summoner Showdown. I think there was 30 people or something like that, selected by Kabam. And I would really like to see that for 2023. I would love to see like half of it selected by Kabam, invitations being sent out, maybe like a 32-person tournament, and have 16 people invited, so people that are skilled and well known in the community invited, and then have like the other half of the tournament being able to qualify for it. I would really love to see that so much. Like I love the tournaments. I love participating in the tournaments that I have been participating in, but the problem with them is they're all community driven, which can really set limitations on the tournament. Now, what do I mean by that? Bro, I'm in 2 Battlegrounds tournaments right now. I think I'm in 3 right now, but they're just paused. Because right now, there's no Battlegrounds in-game. After the season, Battlegrounds just goes away. So, like, the tournaments can't even continue right now. But again, if we had official tournaments from Kabam, that could lead to better rewards. First of all, you know, in-game, Kabam can, it's just pixels, so they can create any in-game reward for tournaments. Plus, they make a crap load of money, so they can do real-life prizes as well. So they could be cash prizes, they could be iPads, it could be anything. You know, they have the money to make it anything, to make it special. So I'd really love to see official community tournaments by Kabam, online and in person. There better be at least one in-person official tournament for Battlegrounds in 2023, or Kabam, I am going to be extremely disappointed and displeased with you. You don't want to make me that disappointed. You don't want to do that, because I might stop playing if you do that. And then, number one, the number one thing that I want to see in MCOC in 2023, the absolute thing I want to see the most, is a next Everest content. So again, I'm pretty sure Abyss of Legends came out, I think it was 2019. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of 2019, we saw Abyss of Legends. It was definitely the start of a year. It's January. So man, it's been a few years since Abyss came out. It's time. It is time for the next piece of Everest content. I've been waiting, itching and waiting, man. I did Abyss. That's how I got my Thanos, my fresh rank 4 Sig 200 Thanos, because I was within the first 20 people in the entire world to 100% complete the Abyss first. And that got me this 6-star Thanos. Got him Awakened as well, which is one of my biggest achievements. And it was some of, it was definitely some of the most fun I've ever had playing MCOC, just doing Abyss. And it actually is, I can say this for a fact, it is by far the biggest peak I have ever experienced on my channel. Like when I go and look at all of my analytics, my views, my money earned, my subscriber count, my watch time, like everything, if I go and look at that on a graph, the highest point is when Abyss came out, when I was streaming it, because I streamed so much when it came out within like the first 5 days. 200% it. So not only was that like the biggest peak of my channel, but it was also some of the most fun I've ever had in game, and one of my biggest achievements as well in game. I absolutely love this content, this type of content, so much. I had so much fun with Labyrinth back in the day. I remember watching the Analyzer's videos, and I was just feeling inspired watching him. I just love Labyrinth. I love Labyrinth. I loved going through it, and I loved Abyss so much. So really, really, really just want to see new content. But there is one caveat that I really want to include, and that I think Abyss was good, but I think Labyrinth was better. I think that statement is true. But for me, like, Abyss was better for me because I wasn't playing the game when Labyrinth came out. But I was playing the game when Abyss came out, and I was ready for it. And like I said, I was one of the first 20 people to beat it. But because of that, like, I blitzed the Abyss, right? Whereas Labyrinth, it took me a long time to go through Labyrinth, and it's something that I really had to like build my account up to then do, which I really liked. And my absolute, there's two things that I absolutely love about Labyrinth, and that I think it just did so much better than the Abyss, and that I really, 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 really want to see this with the next piece of Everest content. That's a big reason why this is number one, why I put this even above Battlegrounds tournaments by Kabam, because I really want to see this. I want to see the next piece of Everest content with themes from Labyrinth. So what themes from Labyrinth do I want to see carried over? This, for sure. Road to the Labyrinth. This is so cool, man. This is so cool. Imagine having a brand new piece of content that you need to fully beat. Once you beat that, you then get a key. And that key then unlocks a way harder, brand new piece of content. Is it this right here? Yes. The key to the Labyrinth. Dude, this is one of the best concepts in MCOC. And just in games, period. Like, needing to work towards a key, to earn a key, then to unlock the gate to, like, the next big crazy thing. Like, I love that concept. It's such a good concept, especially in a video game. And Kabam, please, please, do it again. Do it again with the next piece of Everest content. Please. I love it so much. And that way, we're not only getting one piece of Everest content, we're getting a precursor piece of content. So just more content. The more content, the better. And I love the concept of it. So I really, really hope to see that something like that included in the next piece of Everest content. And something else I also really want to see included. Something that I think Labyrinth just did so well. And that was having a trophy champion included in 100% rewards. I was really disappointed that Kabam did not do that with Abyss. I will say that the thing that Abyss had over Labyrinth was these chests. I think that is really awesome, and I really hope that that is also continued going forward with the next piece of Everest content. If there is a a nice juicy chest on every single path, that's awesome. Because, you know, with Labyrinth, it was, you know, the first path, boom, you get crazy rewards. Then the next few paths, you get nothing. Then at the end, boom, more crazy rewards. Whereas it's good to have the initial crazy rewards and the ending crazy rewards, but it's also good to have something in between, because a lot of those paths can be brutal, and to just get nothing feels like garbage. So these Abyss chests were really nice. But I was really, really disappointed that there was no trophy champion. Really disappointed with that. So yeah, whether it's a 6-star version of this Ultron, like, that's what I want at bare minimum. A 6-star Ultron, classic Ultron, and maybe even a little bit of a rework to him as well, like how the other Ultron got. I mean, you could literally probably just steal some abilities from that or do something unique. I'm fine with either one, but I want to see him be better, more useful. So yeah, bare minimum 6-star version of this guy as the trophy champ, or maybe a 7-star version even, depending when the Everest content would come out, if it's before or after 3 or 7 stars, I guess. But yeah, I just really want to see a trophy champion. I don't even care. Oh no, okay, I do care who it is, as long as it's someone I don't have. That's the only, as long as it's someone I don't have. So yeah, if it was like a 6-star Immortal Iron Fist, or 6-star Jessica Jones, or 6-star new version of gold pool, platinum pool, like a bronze pool, or a ruby pool, you know, whatever, a pirate pool. Oh yes, I want to see a pirate version of Deadpool as a trophy champ. Yeah, I'd love to see that more than anything else, I think. Yeah, that'd be sweet. But just a cool trophy champ for 100%ing the content. A cool trophy champ for 100%ing the content. A chest on every path, and a road to as a precursor with a key to then unlock the content. If we could see that in 2023, that would make my year. Kabam, I would be so happy and so pleased if you did that. Guys, that is going to do it for my top 10 countdown, my wish list of everything. Well, not everything, but the 10 things that I want to see most in 2023, and that some expectations for Kabam. Because this is our game. You know, it wouldn't be here without all of us playing, especially after all these years. So, you know, Kabam really needs to listen to our community more. They really do. A little bit. Just a little bit. Or a lot of it. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you disagree with any of the things I've said? Is there anything that I said that you don't want to see in 2023? Do you strongly agree with any points I've said? Go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking, have a little bit of a chat. And if you guys have any ideas, anything that you really want to see, drop in the comments. And also look throughout the comments to see if there's anything that you agree with from anyone else, and just drop a like on those comments. And if there's any other really good feedback, I can send it over to Kabam as well. I'm going to, you know, put this video in the CCP Discord. Hopefully someone from Kabam watches it, and it makes a little bit of an impact on 2023, or a big impact. That'd be awesome. Especially if, you know, like, everyone agrees with this video and a lot of stuff that I said you guys want to see. If we can show Kabam like how much we want this in game, I don't know, maybe it'll help a bit. I don't know. Just wanted to put this out there because sometimes I feel like if I don't do this, then like then I can't really complain about. I don't like to complain, but if I don't put out a video like this, if I don't put out what I want, if I don't put my thoughts, what I hope for, my ideas, if I don't put it out there, then I feel like I don't really have a right to complain that it's not in game. But if I do put it out there and Kabam still doesn't incorporate it, you know, then I have a bit of a right to complain, at least. I don't know. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much on Reach for helping me reach 100,000 subscribers. The special stream that we did was a lot of fun. If you guys haven't checked it out, I highly suggest seeing it. We eat the world's hottest gummy bear. We do a really nice crystal opening, get some pretty good pulls, and we also take that Thanos up to rank 4. But that is going to do it for this video, guys. Yeah, really keen to read those comments. Drop a like if you agreed or enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more content. That's going to do it. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.